What's up, family? You already know who it is. Your favorite storyteller, Matt D. Talford, author of a couple of amazing books, for which you can find information on in the links in the description box below. And you can also see some thumbnails at the end of this video. Perhaps, unless I'll upload this directly from my phone. This is going to be a short one today. Short, right? No, listen. I want to put y'all on some game real quick on how you can protect yourself in this war that we're in. I'm just gonna call it what it is. Y'all have heard me say it since last year, and nothing has changed. We're in the thick of it right now, and they're turning up. They're turning up in every single continent, inhabited continent on this planet. They're trying to ratchet up what they're doing. If you want to know what they're doing, just turn the news on. All right, I'm not gonna get into all of that. Here's how you can protect yourself. Now, if you saw my last video where I was talking about straight from the horse's mouth, if you haven't seen it, there'll be a link in the description box below. You can go and check that one out. I recommend that you watch it. It is about 40-something minutes, so you may not have, no, not 40, it's in 30-something minutes. But anyway, you may not have the time to watch it, and you may want to watch this one and go back to that one for reference. But let me get to the point. In that, I talked about the war, invisible war, because most people can't even see that we're at war. Not we're at war, but we're really like on the defensive without even knowing it. When I say we, I'm talking about humanity, and certain parts of humanity. If you watch my World War III video, World War III Year 2, you'll understand what I'm talking about there. Certain melanated beings, but I'm gonna lay off of that for a minute. Let me get straight to the point here. All right, how can you protect yourself? First of all, you got to know what's going on that you're protecting yourself from to understand the application of how you're going to protect yourself. So we got a couple of things going on. Again, in my Straight from the Horse's Mouth video, I talked about irritants that people are breathing in right and left in this season that is causing them respiratory distress. That's one. The second one is a little bit more unseen, for lack of a better word right now. I don't want to say nefarious, because then y'all will be like, oh, he wanted them. So I won't say nefarious, even though that's what I'm thinking. But it's a little bit more inconspicuous. That's the word I was looking for. It's a little bit more inconspicuous. I'm going to call it radiation. You can plug in the respective number and letter from the alphabet that you want to put with that. Okay, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, y'all got it? Y'all got that? Y'all got that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What number did I leave out? Okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, H, I, J, K. What letter did I leave out? All right, y'all got it. Now, for those of you that want to deny it, you're that letter and number, or you're that number and letter, you're a denier of that number and letter and its effects. You need to understand that there have been people who are watchdogs that have been railing against that certain technology for some six years now. For some 6 years, they were talking about this back around 2014, 2015. They were saying why cutting over to this is a bad idea. Okay, yeah, there's benefits with speed and transmission and all that other stuff, but they were talking about the negatives of it. I'm not gonna get into that. Now that you understand what I'm saying that you needed to protect yourself from, let me get into the meat of this and wrap this up. Diet. Every living soul on this earth, unless you're a breatharian, which is something I just recently learned about, needs food to thrive. Okay, so all you breatharians out there, you can turn this part off. This doesn't apply to you. But if you're not a breatharian, which I'm not, I eat, okay? All right, so what you need to be putting in your system and what you don't need to be putting in your system. Number one, sugar. Man, listen, if I said it once, I said it 1,000 times. And I know sugar is addictive as all get out. I got some confections in my house I need to throw out. But it's just like, it's like telling a crackhead to throw away the crack. I know I should throw them out, but I'm like, oh, well, what if I just eat just a little bit? So we know that sugar's a drug. We know that. That's well documented. All right, it's addictive. Things that are addictive, you don't want to get rid of. That's why some of y'all are in bad relationships right now, because the is too good. You can't get this person treats me like crap, but it's so good. I just can't. That's the science of addiction. All right, it's bad for you, but it's so good. It's like you gotta have mental You got to be a mental Jedi master to get rid of it. Okay, so sugar, get rid of that. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. And y'all pray for me too, because I need to get rid of it. I got something I need to get rid of. It's like my last couple of things I need to get rid of. All right. And they're sort of healthy applications of sugar, if that's not an oxymoron, but I still need to get rid of them. All right, so that. Get rid of the sugar. Now that we know what you don't need to be eating, let's get into what you do need to be eating. And this is going to go contrary to what some of you have been taught and what some of you are preaching right now. All right? There are a lot of people right now preaching veganism. Oh, you know what? You need to stop eating meat. You need to go to a vegetable diet. You need to go to a plant-based diet. I'm going to tell you why I think that's a bad idea right now. Radiation. No, skip radiation. Let's go with heat. Raise your hand if you have ever cooked a piece of meat, a piece of steak, a piece of lamb, pork if you're into that, whatever, piece of beef, whatever. Raise your hand if you ever cooked a piece of meat, even a piece of fish. Raise your hand, okay? Now, if you've ever cooked it on heat, you already know. Okay, you raise your hand. Now, tell me, how easy is it to burn a piece of lean meat? It's pretty easy, right? Unless you know what you're doing. Now, how easy is it to burn a very fatty piece of meat? Very difficult. Very difficult. Why? Because that fat acts as a layer of protection for the actual meat. This is why those of you who know steak, you know that, if you want to eat a piece of steak done, you can't beat a ribeye. You cannot beat a ribeye because it's like especially if it's well marbled, it's like the fattiest piece of steak you can get. Now, for those of you out there eating sirloin, it's a bad cut of meat if you're eating it. I've cut out the steak, y'all, seriously, for different reasons, but that doesn't mean I'm not eating meat. I'm gonna get back to that in a minute. I'm gonna wrap this video up. Try to keep this under 10. For those of you who eat sirloin, filet mignon, and stuff like that, you know that you darn near you gotta have some pink in that if you want that to be tender. I don't eat pink meat. All right, some of y'all, you know what, man? Some of y'all, jeez. Yo, if your mind got nasty on that for a minute, just skip that, all right? Just skip that. Put that back, all right? Now, I don't want blood coming out of my meat. It's okay if it's a little pink, long as you can't squeeze it and ain't no blood coming out of it, all right? So I don't do the medium rare, I don't do the medium, I don't do rare. Medium well, if I squeeze it and there's no blood on the plate, then it's all right? But for the most part, when I was eating meat like that, just give me a ribeye, either medium well plus or well done. Now, but I'm getting way off into the weeds. My point is, the more fat on that meat, the more the meat itself is protected from getting seared or burned by that pan. Now, the other thing is, you know that if you're cooking a lean piece of meat, then you got to put a healthy amount of fat in that pan. I don't care if it's butter, I don't care if it's some type of oil. You got to put a healthy amount of fat into that pan to keep that meat from burning, all right? Now, take that and apply it to your body. With this thing that I just talked about, the number and the letter, which is invisible, you can't see it, but it's affecting everybody. How do we know? It's because you are seeing more and more people walking around here constantly clearing their throat, clearing their chest, trying to break up, feeling congested, excess phlegm production, more so than any other time. We ain't even completely like in allergy season right now. You got people out here that are constantly trying to clear phlegm out of their, mucus and stuff out of their chest, out of their throat, whatever, out of their sinus. Why is that? Your body's immune response kicks in extra mucus to protect the tissues, to protect these tissues when there's an invader, okay? Well, guess what? If that invader is not even something that you inhale, we already know what happens if you inhale something. You immediately get a runny nose or whatever. Your body's trying to get it out. But let's say it's not even something, a particle that you inhaled. Then now you're talking about radiation. That radiation can permeate through your body and affect your tissues. So guess what? If you get an extra mucus and stuff in your chest and build up, it might be that your body's protecting itself from some radiation that you cannot see. So therefore, to wrap this thing up, if you are calling yourself being healthier now because you're only eating vegetables or you're only eating fruit, but you're in a zone where you're exposed to all of these different bioirritants, then you need some extra protection. All right. So to me, you're like a soldier going onto a battlefield where bullets are flying with no flak vest and no body armor. If you're going out here not eating something that's going to give you your tissues an extra layer of protection, but you got to balance it. You got to balance it because you can't go too extreme. Remember, I told y'all yesterday I don't eat dairy. Unless I'm eating some pizza. Yo, I can't give up pizza, man. I love it, but I eat it sparingly. Like, I don't eat a whole pie anymore, like I used to when I was younger. Now I'll eat 2 slices, maybe 3 if it's good. But anyway, getting back to my point. For the most part, I do not eat dairy. Mozzarella is the one. Mozzarella and feta, because feta is a cultured cheese. As long as both of these came from organic cows or whatever, I will do those limited on dairy. Okay, feta and mozzarella. But that's it. But that aside, those of you that eat dairy, do your thing. I'm not doing it. I don't like all the stuff they injecting in these cows or whatever, and I don't like the taste of goat's milk. I never have, whatever. So whatever. Sheep's milk. I've never liked the taste of that stuff. So anyway, but I make sure I'm eating fatty meat. I'm eating lamb, okay? I'm eating salmon. The more fat, the better, okay? On top of that, I'm trying to scale back on the eggs, but I'm trying to put things into my body that is going to give my tissues an extra layer of protection without inundating it with too much of the stuff that ain't necessarily good. So that's all I'm going to say, y'all. Listen, we're at war. We're at war. Look at what's happening in Australia. Okay, look at what's happening in all these places where they're locking the people down and telling them where they can't go. And here's what's funny. This whole Second Amendment argument, people were talking about, well, Australia got rid of their guns and blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you something. The reason why Australia locked down right now is because these people got to do what they told. If you think a lockdown coming like that to America, that Second Amendment is gonna prevent that, because there's some cats over here that's like, I'm not about that. I'm not about that. Nah, this is what we not finna do. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's I got all off in another tangent. I didn't mean to get into politics, y'all. The point I was trying to make is we're at war. We're at war. Your freedom, your ability to do as you will is being stripped all around the planet. All right? And it's almost like America's the last holdout. All right? Some of that has to do with, I'm not gonna get into scripture on this one, y'all. I'm not gonna get into scripture on this one, but the Most High said he makes his dwelling among the children of Israel, all right? Or Yasharal, if you want to get rid of that English translation or whatever. And I ain't talking about no geopolitical location. I'm talking about bloodline. I'm talking about ancient bloodline, all right? He said he makes his dwelling, his habitation among them. This is why there's some places that have not folded yet, because there is a large concentration, and he is where they are. He always has been. Always has, whether in bondage or freedom. He's still like, you know what? I got a covenant. I got a covenant with y'all forefathers that I got to keep, even though I'm not feeling y'all right now. I'm gonna make sure ain't nobody running over y'all. I'm gonna make sure ain't nobody completely running over y'all. But I didn't mean to get off into that. Listen, protect yourself. Protect yourself. Know what to put in your body. I personally, listen, vegan. If you're vegan, you're doing your thing, whatever. But I'm here to tell you, now, I'm not saying don't eat vegetables. I get those powerful phytonutrients. I eat plenty of leafy green vegetables. I eat plenty of citrus fruit. All right. I eat plenty of fibrous fruits. Okay. I eat plenty of enzymatic fruits. Okay. Things that help me break down, digest the food. I get plenty of fruit, plenty of vegetables. Celery. I juice my celery. I juice beets. Listen, I get plenty of root vegetables, plenty of leafy green vegetables, all right? I eat plenty of sweet potatoes, because sweet potatoes is like a power food. I eat plenty of vegetables, but I am not cutting out the things that are not, I'm eating my meat. I'm sorry. I'm eating my meat right now. I'm eating, geez, y'all, come on, really? I'm eating meat right now. Y'all gotta give me a break, man. Y'all gotta give me a break. I'm eating meat right now. I'm eating my salmon. I'm eating my fatty fish. All right. I'm eating like lamb. I told y'all. I don't do the pork. I did it once upon a time. I don't demonize anybody who does. I'm just not gonna do it for several reasons. Most of which, I watched Dr. Shahrazad Ali's breakdown on the inability to completely cook parasites out of pork and stuff like that. So that was a little bit of a turnoff. And then, I don't know. I feel like I've elevated or whatever. It's like anything that smells like that before it's cooked or while it's cooking, I'm not trying to put that in my body. It's just got a foul odor. I'm not into that. I'm not into that anymore. But anyway, so eat meat. Don't cut that out. Right now is not the time to not be putting things in your body that's going to help produce an extra layer of protein to protect your tissues. Even cancer cells protect themselves with layers of protein. That's how people get. That's how tumors form. All a tumor is a protein wall around a cancer cell, so that cancer, even though it's as bad as cancer is, that cancer cell protects itself by encapsulating itself within a wall of protein. All right. So if you want to protect your tissues from these things that are permeating your body right now that you can't see, you need to be eating the stuff that's going to give you that extra layer of protection. And you're not just going to get it from eating fruits and green vegetables. You're going to have to step it up. At least get some olive oil in you. Get some fat. You got to get some fat, all right? You want to just eat vegetables, fine. You want to just eat beans, make sure you're getting plenty of olive oil or butter or whatever in them to get that fat in you. You don't want to eat meat, I get it. You got reasons, meat sensitivity, reason why you don't want to eat meat, I get it. But make sure that you are getting plenty of fats, healthy fats preferably, into your body to give your tissues an extra layer of protection. I'm going to end this the way I started it. It's next to impossible to burn a piece of fatty meat. It's next to impossible. You burn the fat, but that meat's protected, all right? And it's quite easy to burn a piece of meat that is not that does not have a layer of fat between it and the heat source. So keep that in mind. The heat source right now is at A, B, C, D, E, F, H, I, J, the one I took out, and that 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Y'all know what I'm doing. All right, y'all. Listen, I love you. That's why I do what I do here. I'm doing this because I love y'all, and even though we close to the end, according to the scriptures, according to the biblical prophecy, and prophecy has not failed yet. It has not failed yet. And that's why I'm not too terribly worried about these idiots out here, what they doing. There is no biblical, there is no scriptural, there's no prophetic precedent for them winning, all right? So all they doing is walking themselves into a trap. All they doing is walking themselves into a trap. So it's kind of funny watching it. I feel like I'm watching a football game from the upper deck where you can see the whole field and see the whole thing, the play develop. These guys, these beings are walking themselves into a trap and they don't even realize it. It's like watching the chess master at work. It's like, yeah, I knew he was gonna go there. Okay, yep, I want you to go there. Oh, they went there. Yep, boom, check, check, check. Boom, mate, lay your king down. Game over. That's what's about to happen to them. So y'all don't give them no life support by fearing. Okay, there is no prophetic, scriptural precedent for them taking control of the world. It just doesn't happen. It's not written that way, so it ain't gonna happen. Anybody who reads books knows that you can skip to the end, go back to the middle, whatever. Whatever's written is gonna play out in that book. This is just a celestial book that was written a long time ago, and it's playing out. These cats don't win. Don't put them on life support by fearing them. You ain't got nothing to fear. I want to say something else, but some kids might be watching this, so I'm gonna keep it clean. Anyway, y'all, tell somebody you love them and mean it. I love you guys. How do you mean it? You show it. Show it through your acts of service. Peace, y'all. Oh, check out my work. Check out my work. I do appreciate when people buy my books and read them and tell me how much they enjoyed them, because I'm a pretty darn good writer. But you know, we're in a world right now where unless you're signed on to the program, you know, it's difficult to get any steam rolling with your work as an artist. So you know, we rely on the grassroots. So I appreciate if you guys download my ebooks. If you order any printed books I have through my website, preferably, but they're also on Amazon. And guys, the links will be below. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend or whatever day you're watching this.